What we have here is a ProBook 460 G11 with an Ultra7 155U CPU, and if I'm looking at this laptop looks nice. I never ventured into the ProBook category. I always recommend the EliteBook. This is what I have. I've been an on-site technician for 22 years and I own several HP EliteBooks, even the oldest one, the 7 or 8 year old, still in the family, working every single day. So I'm really love the HP EliteBook. Full metal body, wraps everything around. Even when I drop mine in a server room and a corner of the laptop hit the concrete floor, nothing happened. The screen, the motherboard, everything survived. All I have is a little bit of dent here. So I've been recommending HP EliteBooks for a long time. Recently, I don't know if this is due to tariffs or maybe a supply issue, they are significantly got more expensive. So I thought this is a good time and a good option for me to look into the ProBook. They almost look identical. This is his ProBook, it's EliteBook. It feels very similar when I'm looking at the specs. HP is talking about recycled stamp aluminum frame. So I thought, okay, so maybe we just don't have the option to go up like a really high-end screen. Maybe we just don't have options to get a whole bunch of RAM. And that's why these ProBooks are $300–400 cheaper in a very similar configured hardware situation like the EliteBook would have. So it's a very nice laptop, and I've been using it a couple days, setting up for a client. It's gonna go out tomorrow morning, so I wanted to make sure that everything is good. I did the battery test, the screen test, so let's get through all the components and let's see what we have here, and then we're gonna take it apart and see what kind of material this thing actually has. I have a feeling that this is not stamped aluminum. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first of all, we have a 16-inch screen. The screen actually looks really good. It's a basic 300 nit screen. If you're somebody who's planning to work outside in a sunny, bright environment, I would step up to a 400 nit screen. But for an average office use, you cannot ask for more in this price category. The view angles are good. The screen color is really good. It's something nice to look at. I like it a lot. Up in here we have a 2 megapixel webcam. Based on configuration, this could be a 5 megapixel webcam. I highly recommend to get the 5 megapixel webcam. We have this teeny tiny security latch. A lot of my clients are completely missing the point that this can be locked down, so you don't have to put a sticker on it or anything like that. And the screen is actually a good quality screen. Depends on how much this laptop is actually cost. Sometimes it's on sale for $700 with this Ultra7 CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 SSD, and that's a pretty good deal. If I'm venturing down to the keyboard, as you can see, I have a button in here, F5, and this is for the backlit keyboard. Some of these EliteBooks or ProBooks does not come with the backlit keyboard. If you're buying one, make sure you get one from the get-go. This is the best feature. The keyboard feels really good. There's a 16-inch model, so we have a full numpad on the side, and the typing experience is really good. Best feature or best part of this laptop is definitely the quality of the keyboard and the touchpad. Sometimes when I'm venturing into a sub $1,000 category or $700 or $800 category, the keyboard is usually good, but the touchpad has issues. It's plasticky, it's clicky, a big gap on the bottom, especially with a larger laptop. None of that. This thing works absolutely fantastic. We have a fingerprint reader in here, and if I am showing you the side, we have an HDMI output, we have a USB 3.2, we have two Thunderbolt, unfortunately both of them in the same time. So if you are tripping through the cord and ripping one of them out, probably the other one will not work. It would have been a nice feature to have at least the other one on the other side. Is not the case, and we have a combo port. So these two are the USB-C or Thunderbolt ports, are charging port both, and data port as well, could be a display port out. And on the other side, we have this nano SIM port, another USB 3.2. We have a hardwired connection, which is awesome, even in 2025. And we have a Kensington lock, and that's pretty much it. The laptop feels kind of heavy. It's not bad because it's a 16-inch version. And overall, using this laptop, doing the browser test is top notch. I think we have at least 40 browser tab open, and just clicking through them randomly, it really moves. It is surprisingly good. The fan, however, runs. Even if I pull up a couple of tabs, it runs, but the sound of the fan is not annoying. I've been doing IT for a very long time, and I hate slow computers and loud computers. This fan does not bother me, even if I do something which this laptop was not meant to be, like running games. I'm going to show you some footages, GTA 5, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, all playable, 30, 40 FPS. Performance-wise, this thing is great. Speakers. We have no up-firing speakers. We have two teeny tiny down-firing speakers. Therefore, the audio experience is not the greatest. It is loud enough. There is a lot of high, some mid, and absolutely no bass. Once we take off the bottom cover, you will see the speakers are teeny tiny, so there is no miracle, nothing basic coming out of this laptop. But for video chat or webinars, it's perfectly suitable. And you can always use your earbuds or Bluetooth headphones through the Bluetooth connection. The Wi-Fi works great, absolutely no complaint. If I pull up 60 tabs, Internet Explorer tabs, and just clicking through randomly, this thing performs and goes. Sometimes it has a teeny tiny bit of hesitation. Other than that, it is no complaint. For a $700 or $800, if this thing is on sale, it's an absolute die for, go for. If this laptop with a similar configuration goes around $1,000 or $1,100, I would probably not make that purchase. So the battery, we have a pretty big size battery under the back plate, and it's giving us about 9.5 hour runtime. No, I'm not playing games. No, I'm not editing videos. I'm only pulling up one browser tab and running YouTube on it, so technically just streaming. And this is what I get. If you really work and really use it, it's probably going to be significantly less. Depends on what you're doing, especially if you're gaming. I know this is not a gaming computer, but you can definitely run games. So let's get through the synthetic benchmarks. This laptop is almost exactly where it's supposed to be. I reviewed the Dell Latitude 5550, I think last year, with the same Ultra7 155 CPU, and this laptop is pretty much head-to-head. In some cases, the Dell was about 10% faster in multi-core applications. Single-core applications, same thing. What I'm also noticing is this laptop came with a 45-watt power supply. This HP USB-C. I'm surprised with the Ultra7, but when I'm looking at actual power consumption, the CPU goes around, or the whole system goes around 30-35 watt. So the 45 watt makes sense. It's a small size. I would probably upgrade it to a 65. I don't know if there's going to be performance increase, probably not, but I just like the larger size. Usually the USB-C, they don't get overheated, they're significantly cooler, not with HP but Lenovo with these teeny tiny USB-C power supplies. Some of them are even smaller. After a year or two, they start getting overheating to the point when a client is usually concerned if this is a fire hazard or not. It's usually not, but I just like to have something more solid, even if it's more difficult to carry because of the larger size. So as you can see, we have these two rubber lining here. This is what technically protecting the screen. There are some models from different manufacturers when they don't really have these rubber little strips in here, and what's happening is when you put this in your backpack and the laptop is dangling in it, the keyboard will engrave itself to the screen. So eventually you're gonna see all these squares in a screen, but you have to carry the laptop for a while and make sure. What I do is, if I would do it, I was put in a sleeve. The power supply would be in a different components. There's nothing pressing, and the laptop would be just traveling by itself. So why don't we take a look at it on a bottom. So this is definitely a business class machine. For me, the business class machine starts at good material and just a handful of screws, nothing hiding under these strips. All you have to do is just loosen these up. They're not even coming out, so you don't have to take a picture. Let's take the bottom cover off and see what we have inside. let's see, how did I get this wrong? So as you can see, the screws are not coming out, which is my absolute favorite thing as being a technician. When you open this laptop, obviously you have to make sure that the power supply is no longer connected. When you do any kind of work, upgrading the RAM, redoing the thermal paste, maybe upgrading your solid state, any of that, always disconnect the battery from the motherboard. I already went into this laptop and already upgraded some parts. These are the original modules, 8 gig and 8 gig. We have 2 slots what the laptop came with. This is the metal shield for the RAM, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use my plastic opener. I never use anything metal. See this little edge of this tool is like a 1/4 inch, maybe 2 millimeters. This is what I'm gonna start using, and I'm not putting anything anywhere else. I'm gonna start spraying up in here in one of the corner, and once it pops, I'm just gonna drive this through until everything just pops up. And this was my biggest surprise when I take this thing apart, because based on my experience with the EliteBook, everything is metal, and just looking at the description, this is full plastic. So I thought like, okay, maybe I made a mistake. I thought like the whole thing is metal. It's just a plastic sheet. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good quality plastic. It's probably one of the best plastic or construction what I have seen, or how it feels like, and it's completely fakes metal. But when I'm looking at it, this edge feels the same thing. It doesn't feel like metal. Maybe it is metal, but it feels just plastic. The same thing, the top of the laptop, once you feel this material, everything feels like that. So maybe this frame is actually metal. I wish I could tell you for sure. Yeah, this is metal. So the frame is metal, the top and the bottom is plastic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the components. So first of all, we have 2 slots, DDR5 5600. I ended up putting 64 gigs of RAM in here. These are my favorite crucial cheap kit. From some reason, just like with Dell, in a lot of cases, the memory gets downclocked immediately to 4800 instead of 5600. A very affordable kit. We have one solid state. It's a 2280. This is the original module which came out. I just usually like to put my Samsung disk in it because it has all the test environments, bench, and games on it. And as you can see, the battery could be a little bit larger. There is definitely more space, so maybe there is an option for a larger battery so you don't have 9-hour-ish runtime. Maybe you can have 10, 12, 11. Also the fan, as you can see how the fan is positioned, the hot air gonna travel through this pipe, and this fan will push the hot air obviously to the bottom of the screen, because when you open this, it's gonna hit the bottom of the screen. No, this is not gonna make the screen fail, but what's gonna happen is this fan gonna run all the time because it cannot flow out freely. I cannot wait until we get back to the point when this motherboard shrinks even more a little bit. I would just give up the stuff on the other side and turn this fan around just like what we used to have, when a hot air just freely flows out of the laptop. So this fan would not run all the time. Even if I'm browsing, this thing runs. The good news is this is not an annoying fan, and I cannot emphasize that. In a $300 laptop or $400 laptop, the same similar build out, when we are hitting the hot air with the bottom to the bottom of the screen and bouncing it, the fan runs an annoying like sound and speed. This is super quiet. You can barely hear it, and even if I push this thing to its absolute limit with Cinebench or other benchmarks, this thing is revs up pretty high, but still not annoying, and it is great. So let's go ahead and replace the RAM. Let's go ahead and replace the solid state. Let's put this back together and let's enjoy it as it is. So first of all, I am going to unplug the battery cord so the motherboard doesn't have any power. So I'm going to take my test RAM out, this crucial kit, and I'm going to put the original 8 and 8 gig stick back in it. Again, this is the actual model what we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and very carefully putting this back, both of them. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove the screws for the solid state, and I will put the original solid state back in. Okay, so my Samsung 990 Pro comes out and the original solid state goes back in. Okay. All right. Now, what can happen is when we are putting, especially, I'm so afraid from this metal shield around the RAM. There is a lot of connectors right at the edge. I know you're not supposed to touch anything, but you just be very careful. So make sure there is no charger cable plugged in. Make sure there is no battery connected to the motherboard when you're taking this off. Or putting it back on, it can short things out because it's all metal and you see all the little electrical components around this slot. So I'm going to be very careful. It's marked and tagged, one of them, and one of them arrowed goes right here, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to try to put this in extremely carefully. Okay. All right. I'm going to connect the battery. Sometimes what happens is when the battery is connected, the laptop will turn itself on. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. But when you replace the RAM, you definitely are getting a message. One, that the amount of RAM is changed, and two, maybe we lost a time and a date because we no longer have the little coin battery. The little 3-volt coin battery is no longer in it, so when you disconnect your main battery, the laptop BIOS just gets reset to normal. So let's go ahead and put this back on, and let's see what we have here. So I'm going to line up the bottom part in here, press it down, and then I'm just going to start pressing this plastic back into place. And I'm not going to put any screws in it until we make sure that, see the laptop turn itself on, until everything is lined up and snapped into its place. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these screws in. We probably have a beep saying that the amount of RAM is changed. We went down from 64 to back to original 16. Normally I like to bump up the RAM. As more RAM you have, the system is faster, especially with the integrated graphics card. Now for browsing and office application, the 16 gig is still pretty good and probably will be enough for quite a few years. But if you're gaming or do something more meaningful, I would suggest to upgrade the RAM, especially since we have a still affordable RAM. So if you're looking at the screen, this is what I was talking about. We can go to the BIOS and we can also, it's talking about that the system time is incorrect. Yes, because we no longer have the coin battery. So that is pretty much it. If you have any question regards of this laptop or any other laptop, you have any issues, any concern, you want to upgrade this laptop, please let me know in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I see you in the next video. Scott's out.